Every morning, Ramesh opened his small village shop with the same quiet care, arranging rice sacks before the streets fully awakened. Behind the counter, he balanced worn ledger pages with patient hands, carrying responsibilities that never needed witnesses. Then Arjun arrived, holding a white envelope, unable to hide the excitement shining across his face. Inside was his college acceptance, and as Ramesh rested a hand on his son's arm, pride spoke more clearly than words ever could. That night, after the shutters came down, he sat alone studying the ledger until a silent decision settled inside him. By morning, the necessary papers were ready, and a small sign waited beside him. Outside, one handshake ended years of honest work as the shop changed hands for his son's future. At home that evening, Ramesh counted every note carefully, measuring hope instead of wealth. When he placed the envelope into Arjun's hands, he simply called it his savings, never revealing the real cost. At the bus stop, he smiled gently, blessed his son with a steady touch, and watched the bus disappear toward tomorrow. Seasons passed, the old shutters remained closed, and familiar silence settled where customers once gathered. Eventually, the little grocery became a bright mobile accessories store, while this village continued moving forward without looking back. Time also touched Ramesh, leaving silver hair and quieter evenings spent holding a photograph of Arjun with quiet affection. One peaceful night, he wrote a final line in the ledger, closed it gently, and accepted whatever came next. Morning returned with mist, fallen leaves, and a still home that seemed to guard countless unspoken memories. Years later, Arjun came back carrying his suitcase, only to find the empty house waiting without the father he hoped to meet. Searching through familiar shelves, he discovered a wooden box protecting the old ledger. One entry stopped his breath. Shop sold for Arjun's college fees. In that single sentence, every unanswered question finally found its truth, and every forgotten sacrifice suddenly became visible. Sitting quietly on the floor, he held the ledger close as gratitude arrived, together with painful understanding. Drawn by memory, he walked to the storefront that had once shaped his childhood. Inside, nothing remained except the empty space where his father had stood every day. Yet in his heart, he could still see Ramesh smiling behind the old counter, one hand resting upon the weighing scale with familiar warmth. At dusk, Arjun stood outside holding the ledger against his chest, while the streetlights slowly welcomed another evening. Back home, he opened the book beside a blank page and lifted his pen with trembling gratitude. He managed only a heartfelt beginning before emotion carried the rest beyond written words. At golden hour, he looked once more toward the place where everything had quietly changed for his future. Then he returned the ledger to its shelf exactly where his father had left it, honoring both memory and sacrifice. Standing calmly in the doorway, he carried forward a peace built from truth instead of regret. Outside he paused, looked back one final time, and continued ahead with gratitude that no longer needed answers. Somewhere beyond the glowing storefront and beneath the old banyan tree, a father's silent love continued shaping a future he had already given away.